TIFU by answering the phone and telling someone my dad died. TIFU by answering the house phone showing an unknown number asking for my stepdad. Now for some context here. Even after his death last October 2020, we received several telemarketer and scam calls asking for him. So when I answered, I didn't think it would be anyone we knew. After answering the phone and assuming it was a telemarketer, I bluntly and coldly said to the caller, "Oh, he dead," and hung up. They called back 30 seconds later and explained they were close friends of his and someone I had actually met and who had gone to their house before and had dinner and were pretty close over the years. Turns out that this was someone who had become a close friends with my stepdad while he was going through chemo at the same time as this caller's wife. The reason he didn't know up until now that my stepdad had passed away is because he was trying to reach my stepdad's number, which is no longer in service, and eventually found the house number which he ultimately used to get to me. I immediately felt mortified and apologized profusely over and over. He understood and said it was okay. But I could not help but feel like a total asshole for the blunt, unfeeling way I declared his death. Now I just want to abstain from answering any phone ever. TLDR. Told a man one of his closest friends died and hung up on him. Well, I mean, if I got a call from a completely unknown number from a complete stranger wanting to speak to a family member, I can't guarantee that I wouldn't react in the exact same way. WHO dis? Oh, he dead. Bye. Click. You had no idea. So don't feel bad. There may be a more polite way to do this in the future. After my mom died, I got calls for her. When they asked, "Is this mom's name?" I always said, "May I ask who's calling?" and take it from there. When my mom died, we went through her phone and address book and tried to notify everyone. But we missed a bunch, as she was very active in her shooting club, and a bunch of other things. In the future, just ask who is calling and the nature of their business. If it's an unwanted call, then you can blast them. I say you he dead. I get these exact moments every now and then when I'm visiting my mom. Someone calls looking for my dad and I would be crude, then I find out it was someone I actually know. Apparently my hard ass of a dad actually talked about his kids a lot. It's lead to some really good conversations. Don't feel too bad. I strung along one of my mom's friends for almost 2 years by saying, "She's not here." Finally she asked to speak to my dad. He broke the news to her and told me about it. He didn't blame me. I was just a kid. But he was happy that he didn't actually know the woman. I am the king of putting my foot in it. Like the time a workmate came in later than he was meant to start one Monday morning and I'd had a really good weekend, so said to him, "Hi. How was your weekend? How's the wife?" He literally swept everything off his desk and stormed out. Everyone said, "Why did you say that?" So I said, "What do you mean?" They told me he had found his wife in bed with another man that weekend and she kicked him out of the house. I was the only person who didn't know. I've done a lot worse as well. But say this one because a couple of years later he had met someone else and had a baby, so used to have a laugh and wind me up about it. Wouldn't say he was a close friend, but that's just me. I was on the receiving end of one of these exchanges. I was in the supermarket and saw a Jeff guy the first used to work with at a construction company. He was best friends with a dude named Pete, who I was pretty good friends with. Joking around, busting balls, etc. I hadn't seen either one of them for a while. After talking with Jeff for a minute, me, "Hey, How's Pete? Quote, Jeff. Pete's dead. Quote, me. Quote, gulp. Quote, Jeff. Pete's dead. He died. Quote, me. Well, thanks for sugarcoating it, you asshole. Geez. Quote, out of the blue. Like that. Jeff then explained that Pete had contracted some disease. It got worse, etc. My wife and I are always very careful about how we deliver intense news. Like, look, he's okay now and he's back at home. But your Uncle Bill was in an accident last night. If you just start with, your Uncle Bill was in an accident last night, the other person's mind will go in a million dark directions before they can hear the rest of the sentence. It's also useful when delivering the news when it's not good news. Hey, have a seat. I'm sorry, but I have bad news. Your Uncle Bill passed away last night. He was in a car accident out by 5 Corners. That's better for the other person than, your Uncle Bill was in a car accident last night. They took him to the hospital. Oh, geez. Is he gonna be okay? Can I go visit him? Quote, no. The operation didn't go well. What do you mean? Didn't go well? Is he? Yeah. He didn't make it. He died. You don't want to put somebody's mind through all that if you can help it. That's dark. My mom died recently and this unfortunately happened to one of her closest friends a few days later. It's sad but unfortunately nothing you can do about it. We didn't have her info. No one else told her. I have no idea who she is and neither did my sisters. My mom talked about her but still we don't know who it is. I'm sorry for your loss, heart. Man. The world is small. My dad also died in October of 2020 after chemo and also had some stepchildren. I thought this was going to be one of those, he's alive and I told the telemarketer he's dead so they would stop calling and now all his assets are frozen because he's listed as deceased. I heard of this happening, but you should never tell a telemarketer or collector someone is dead when they're not. That's okay. I answered the phone a lot at my last work at a church. And a woman called really sad because her husband just passed away. At the end of the call, I said, have a good day, and hung up and kicked myself. I still kick myself to this day when I think about it. House phone? Absolute Chad move. He's your dad, not that person's, don't feel bad. What I say you, he dead. Don't feel guilty. It was an honest mistake. My mom died last year and I cannot tell you the amount of times companies have contacted me after her just to promote crap or demand payment for stuff. In my country, if someone dies, some types of debts die with them. So yeah, totally understandable, and I have done this many times with banks and such. It's infuriating people still pester me after over a year of her passing with this. It's totally on your right to be blunt and avoid any more of this type of interaction. I'm really sorry for your loss. The people we love are irreplaceable, but their love always remains alive in our hearts.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.